We're live in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're recording.
I'm Annie Lors from my living room in the Louvre.
Hi, I'm Gail from my dining room, New Orleans.
And I'm Marc. Thank you for joining us.
And welcome to Soups On.
Oh, Soup's on, yay. Or off, depending.
Soup.
Lobster bisque.
All right.
First off, we do have our props, and I have to show you my pan.
You can't make lobster bisque if you're not wearing the lobster pants.
You got it.
That is correct. The best shops and the best cooks that are in Boston or down the Cape, they always have their lobster pants on.
You got it.
That's.
As I was saying, though,
or
these are my
diggers.
long ones. You probably did not want to see me in my short ones.
Yes. All right. Well, you were asking about traditions that happened, how this whole thing came to be, and I know when I joined in '77, they had Lenten suppers already started at that time, and Bill Amerson, who has since passed, was the soup maker extraordinaire, and he would go to all the different committees, and he would say, so what soup would you like? And so he was our soup maker, and they would fight over the lobster bisque. For a long time, it would be Property that would do it, and then at other times, Connie Frank would snare him first, and then I think, were they called the aesthetic committee? I think we had an aesthetic committee, yes, flowers, and she would get it.
So Bill would make the soup on behalf of that committee. Is that what you're saying? That the soup was that good that he had a signature soup? And
different committees would host, and they would make the rest. Like Henry, it was just reminding me, the Property committee always made grilled cheese, or grilled cheese and ham, or peanut butter and jelly, for those that don't like grilled cheese or grilled cheese and ham.
And fellowship would be doing that, like we had always chicken noodle soup or something. Yeah, we would have some sandwiches. Now we just got soup. We got it real simple. Back in the 90s, we made it simple.
Yeah. But in years ago, it was
pretty complicated.
It was a lot. There was a list which I was looking for that Bill Amerson had come up with from what was the name of his committee? Do you remember?
It was Fellowship. I was on
Fellowship.
Yeah, I was on it for years. That's when I first met Bill.
And it had a long list of exactly what you should bring and how much of what you should buy, and which they also, and Gail knows this one, which they still have for the funerals. They had a listing of things they would want.
I'm going to go into, and Nancy Grove took that book and she made it even better and better. Now we call it the Kitchen Bible. And it's always it's in the Bible. Anything you want to know about making anything in that church or where it is in that kitchen, Nancy Grove has did it.
So we went from simple soups from Fellowship to
she has recipes
the Kitchen
in there.
Bible.
She's got everything.
Yeah. Yep. So I think the soups at Trinity are really kind of like folklore. They've been passed down and refined, and they continue. So what are we going to make today?
Had their favorites.
What's the soup of the week?
Came up with chowder this week. I was looking through, and chowder is there's different ways of doing it. Some just you start with the lobster. You would take the lobster, you boil it, you take the meat out of it, but then you use that water is the base of your soup.
Yeah. Well, this is what I actually came up with the next day. What is a bisque? Anybody have the definition? A bisque is a type of rich and thick soup that has been pureed so that it has an evenly velvety, creamy texture. So that's a bisque. And for anybody out there, last time I tried to make a creamy soup, I gave myself a really bad burn. Yes. So I'm avoiding them now.
There's also you have to get one of those immersioners
Yeah, we always talk about that.
Yeah, the immersioner works really well, especially if you make a soup. I found that
Yeah.
I have to use my very large 12,
Yeah, I use the big
12
pot.
thing. And
Yeah.
if you do it inside and make half of the soup, or a smaller amount, you just put it in there and it's not going to come and hit you in the face.
Safe
I will
soup.
tell you one thing.
Blenders are
Do not-
dangerous with hot stuff
Yeah.
inside of them.
Do not eat peanut butter when you're trying to talk.
Sounds like you learned that the hard way, Gail.
It was back
All
to
right, Annie.
Bill Amberson's soup. Now, I was from upstate New York, and lobster to me was like a lobster tail. I don't think I had a full lobster until I came here in New England. Well, I lived here back in 1981. I came occasionally. So when I joined the church and I tasted Bill Amberson's lobster bisque, which was like the most fantastic ever. That's the way I always thought it should be. And I think to this day, I have not found a better lobster bisque than Bill Amberson.
So how do we make this bisque? Sounds great.
So
you might as well get the whole lobster. It's just as cheap. It's only like $7.99 a pound now. So
yeah, I mean, it's up to whatever anybody needs.
Yeah.
All you need is about this much of meat. It's not a lot. But
All
I've
right.
used lobster tail. I've used
Okay.
the whole lobster. Get your lobster. And if you're going to make it for a family of 4, you would probably use 2 or 3 lobsters. And you boil it. I'm just following what they say. Or you can use 1 5-pound lobster.
Ooh.
If you can find a 5-pound lobster, but that's an
an
awful
old
big lobster.
lobster.
Or 2,
Yeah.
2.5, or 3 1-pound, especially for us. It's easier, 3 1-pounders.
yeah.
And then you use chicken bouillon. But the first thing you have to do is put the lobsters in, let it cook for a while. After that, you have a base. That's going to be your the base of your lobster soup. You take the lobsters out, you take the meat out of the claws, and you take the all the innards out, and then you throw the lobster meat on the side, and you put the rest of the body back into all the different other pieces into that, and add your onions, celery, some peppercorns. I know that sounds really weird, but that's the basic that they use. And you're going to strain all of that after it's done. It has to come, you have to leave it sit for about 35, 40 minutes really to get all their flavors. I like to do it for an hour. I put my timer on. Meanwhile, you cut up the meat. Some of that lobster meat is going to go back in to the bisque or into
All right.
the lobster.
Gotcha. So this is a little bit like chicken soup, like if you were boiling the carcass, basically.
Yes.
Getting all
Yes.
those good flavors out of the
Same
bone.
type of
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah,
you
nice.
can, some of the recipes call for cloves, some of them call them for juniper berries, the dried ones. There's all different ones. They've add nutmeg to it. It's your taste preference. But I like to use, mine is the Trinity, I guess they call it, the onion, the carrot, and then my bouillon cube and my juniper or my black pepper, the whole
Annie, question.
peppercorn.
Is this your recipe that's really easy that you were telling us about?
Oh, no, my easy one,
Oh,
I
okay.
can go get the book. It's very fast and it's real simple
Put
to
it
do.
in the newsletter. I'd love to see it.
I'll put the
You got it.
put the easy one. I
Yeah,
got
put the
that
easy
from a
one in.
ship.
Remember, me and my cooking skills are not very
But-
well.
This is the
But
advanced
anyways, you
edition
put
here.
everything, you do everything together, you leave it there. And once it comes up to a boil, you strain everything. And that's when you'll add some either cream or what I do too. And what Bill had, what his secret ingredient was a russet potato is what I was told. And
Make it thicker.
you cook that separately actually, and then riced it inside, and that would be like heavy, but you add a little cream to it and a little salt and pepper, and it boils for a little while. You get it nice and creamy. You add half of the lobster meat. You put your immersion piece in it, and then when you serve it, you add little pieces of lobster meat. And you can take fried onion bits if you'd like, or crouton, and add that to it. We always put a pat of butter on it when
Oh,
it's
look at that.
finished, and a little bit of paprika.
Ooh,
Oh.
that sounds good. As if the cream
sounds
were
good.
not enough. A little pat of butter on the top.
And a little glass of wine on the side with a little
And a
bread,
nice-
and got it made.
I like a nice red wine. I like a really nice Cabernet Sauvignon.
There you
or
go.
a Cab or,
Yeah, the
or
nice
a
heavy-
Merlot. That for me is good.
Yeah, that's a good meal.
Sounds
And there
fantastic.
is some crusty
Now-
French bread, a little brie, and you're all
Yes,
set.
yep, you got it. Now, for those of us who really do not cook well or bake well or afraid, I do have a better one. And this is not like Bill Amberson's or some, but Kirtland's lobster bisque. It is very, very good. And I believe you, I would never do this to you out in real life. But if you really just want a good, quick meal, this is a very good one. Lobster
I've had
bisque
it.
from Costco's.
Two
Sounds
thumbs
super
up.
simple.
It's
Yes.
very simple. Put it in a bowl, microwave it, get your wine. Actually, you drink your wine before it's microwave. It's a lot easier.
This is great. I think we got it.
Yeah.
We've got the super simple, and we've got the super duper soup and everything in between. I love it. Well, thank you. This is great. I can imagine people are jumping into their kitchens right now trying to get those soups going for our Lenten supper.
Or run up to Costco's real fast.
All right. Thank you. This will
Hope
be
you're
great.
going to enjoy it. Welcome to Soups On.